The thing about forbidden is that the word itself is an admission. You don't call something forbidden unless there is a pull toward it. You don't build a wall unless something on the other side of it is worth containing. I had been very good at respecting walls my entire life. I had never once pushed against one. And then Cale Darius put his hand on the stone wall beside my head in a private garden at 2 in the morning. And I realized that the wall I had built between what I wanted and what I was allowed to want had always been thinner than I thought. Aldrich's contract sat on my desk. I had read the relevant clause 12 times. The bond pulled north all night, steady as a heartbeat, patient in the way that things are patient when they know they have already won. At 1 in the morning, I gave up. I dressed in a simple dark dress, took a lamp, and went downstairs. Not north. I promised myself not north. The bond could pull all it liked. I was going to the garden. The garden at night was the most beautiful place in the palace. The fountain ran quietly. The climbing plants had a soft, dark scent. I entered through the small gate and stopped. He was already there, not in court clothes. A dark shirt, a long coat, boots on the stone path. Sitting on the bench near the far wall with his forearms on his knees and his head bowed, the look of a man who had forgotten, just for a moment, that anyone would find him like this. I should have left. I let the gate close behind me instead. He raised his head when he heard the gate, looked at me, looked back at the fountain. "You couldn't sleep either," he said. "No." I sat on the opposite bench, the fountain between us. Two people who had no business being alone together at 1 in the morning, sitting in the easy silence of people who had become, without planning it, genuinely comfortable with each other. "I've been thinking about the contract," I said eventually. "So have I," his voice was flat. "I know what he's planning." "And?" He raised his head. In the moonlight, his eyes were more silver than gold, and the expression on his face was rawer and more honest than I had seen it. "I find myself in a position I have never been in before," he said, "where the right legal move and the thing I actually want are in direct conflict." "What do you want?" I asked. He looked at me for a long time. The fountain ran. A night bird called somewhere above the garden walls. "I want to not watch you be relocated to Aldrich's estate," he said. "I want that to not happen." A pause. "I want things I don't have the right to want yet." "Yet," I said. "Yet," he confirmed. We sat with that word for a while. Then I asked about the bond protections, the legal ones. He explained. If the bond were formally recognized, documented, and witnessed, Aldrich's relocation clause would be unenforceable. But formal recognition had other implications, permanent ones, and my consent non-negotiable. "I am not asking you," he said carefully. "I'm telling you the option exists." We walked back through the garden together eventually. At the gate, we stopped. The lamp cast its warm circle. I turned to face him. He was already facing me. "I'm afraid," I said. I hadn't planned to say it. "Not of you, of what it means, of choosing something this large." "I know," he said. "I've never been allowed to choose large things." Something moved in his face. He took one step toward me. I did not step back. He took another. Close enough now that the warmth in my chest had become something almost audible. He put his hand on the stone arch beside my head. Slowly, deliberately. His face came down toward mine, not touching, but reducing the space between us to something that wasn't quite distance anymore. "I'm trying," he said quietly, "to do this correctly, to not ask you for things you haven't offered." "What if I don't want you to try so hard?" I said. He went very still. The space between our faces was nothing, and then he stepped back, one deliberate step, the air returning between us. "Not yet," he said. His voice was rough. "Not while Aldrich's claim is on you, not while I can't offer you anything clean." He walked back through the garden without looking back. I stayed at the gate with my hand pressed flat against the stone arch where his had been. The stone was still warm from him. I stood there until I was cold and the lamp had guttered and the warmth in my chest had settled back to its low, steady pull. And then I heard footsteps on the palace path behind me. Not his. Heavier. More deliberate. Lord Aldrich's voice came from just over my shoulder. "I've been looking for you." I turned. He was standing 4 feet away in the dark, his coat buttoned to the throat, his gray eyes not on my face but on the stone arch, on the exact place where a hand had been. "What are you doing in the garden at this hour, Alina?" And from the position of his eyes, from what he had clearly been watching, I understood he had been there longer than he had just arrived.